analog sticks. And, excuse me. In Armored Core 2, when you're controlling the mech, it doesn't use the sticks. It uses the D-pad. Left and right make you turn left and right. Up and down let you go forward and backward. And then your left shoulder button like makes you look down, and your right shoulder button makes you look up. It's like, come on, at this point dual stick shooters were a standard thing. You can use one stick to move to control like the moving and strafing, and the other one to control the aiming. But they didn't bother. They got lazy, figuring, well, this is good enough. And the entire game is shot down because they didn't bother to adapt the controls. It takes this thing that would be an amazing experience, because the amount of effort that was put into taking what missions and jobs you can, affecting the economic environment on what parts are available and how affordable they are, and who gives you discounts, and what goes into your mech, because when they let you customize your mech, it's everything. Like, your legs don't just determine movement, they determine how much weight it can support. And your torso is your power generator and your targeting computer, and that is, again, how much weight you can put on your backpack and your arms. And everything about it was a fantastic game, something that I would love to play more if I could, but the controls are so god-fucking awful. It's not worth it. All it is frustration, building the best mech you can, and getting by on raw firepower instead of your prowess. It depends on how bad it is. There are certain controllers that I can adapt to, and it takes time. It's a pain in the ass, but I can do it. But in something so counterintuitive, I mean, like, I could get if they said, you know, look up with the right shoulder button and look down with the right trigger button. Okay, that makes sense. But they didn't do that. They set the shoulder buttons on, like, the left to look down, the right to look up. What the fuck is that? Yeah, there are certain things I can adapt to, but there are others that, if they're just too batshit crazy, it's not worth it. Bottom line. I guess I could always, like, try and get it on an emulator and then, like, map the buttons. I did that with Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark, if you aren't aware, you moved with the control stick up and down and aimed left and right. And then you used the C buttons to strafe left and right and aim up and down. So all I did was change the input axes on the config for an emulator, and I was able to play Perfect Dark as a dual-stick shooter, you know, the way it should be. Yes. If you haven't checked out Hawken, which I recommend you do, it is very close to what I'm looking for. The controls are down perfect. They've taken a lot from first-person shooters and adapted them to meet the feel of a giant robot piloting game. I mean, they they take into account that not everything is going to move on command, right? The way it would in an FPS. So when you have this giant mechanical thing, you might, aim to the right, but it will have a little bit of lag catching up because it isn't a person. The only thing, honestly, I wish Hawken had more of was more customizability in the maps. It's awesome. The only place it comes up short, is you basically have, here's your mech, you can get a few extra add-ons for like power generator or weapons, and then after that, that's it. You really can't build the kind of robot you want. You have like, here's your basic loadout, and here's a few customizations. And I get it, that's like part of what goes on the microtransaction, because that's what the game runs on. It's free to play, and a lot of the goodies are either you earn gold to spend on your unit, or you just pay cash money, and I can't blame them for that. Inverted piloting controls, looking down to aim up and vice versa. That depends on the game, honestly. If it's a flight simulator, like that's what the original Star Fox had, right? And I'm okay with that because that's actually the way a yoke works, if you think about it. Like, if you're flying something, you turn left or turn right to go left or right, but you pull back to go up and you push forward to go down. So that's fine. When it comes to first-person shooters, it's counterintuitive. I know that seems silly because, like, a flight simulator is basically just a first-person shooter with where you're always going forward, but yeah, I mean, that's really all it boils down to. But if it comes down to it, if the game is stuck with inverted y-axis, then that doesn't bother me that much. I mean, I basically grew up on Star Fox, so if I need to, like, set my brain into that mode, Oh, harsh. Oh. Pardon my distraction. Yes, I believe you are correct. It is 100% imperative that games, especially nowadays, have the ability to remap the inputs on a controller. Excuse me. No! Let's just wait and see what happens. I don't know. Ah, so close. Glass shards. That seems like something that belongs in hell, right? Man, I have to pee again. Well, considering how quickly I've been tearing through this monster, that makes sense. No, 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 no. I see you, laser eye.